Hello and welcome to the World View. My name is Nick Anthony. Thank you so much for being here today. But I want to get this point across to you, those of you who are viewing on YouTube. I want to put more content out there for you every single day, and I want you to, I want to be a help. Okay, I really do. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm not trying to tell you that I'm 100% right 100% of the time. That is not my intention or my goal whatsoever. I just want to be a help. Okay, so we're going to pick up with this. We're going to talk about why the left hates work. Why the left hates work, okay? And they do, okay? They very much do. They hate work. They hate when Americans are busy working. They hate when anybody in the world is busy working as long as they are free. They hate it when they're working and they're free. They don't mind the hard, laborious work if they are underneath their thumb. They don't mind it. But in order to get that, which is slavery, by the way, in case you're curious at what that word I'm looking for is, it's slavery. So they love slavery. The left loves slavery. You say, no, they don't. They're tearing down all the statues. No, 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 no. They're erasing their history of racism. They're erasing their history of prejudice and their history of slavery and their history of owning slaves, of promoting slavery, of prohibiting those that would fight slavery. That's what they're fighting, that stuff, okay? And they're trying to fight their own history because they know we're living the information age where we can find all that stuff out and we can blow them out of the water, which it's happening every day, folks. They can't keep up with it. I believe the left, I'm just going to be positive real quick. I believe they're going to lose. I do. I do believe, and I know for a biblical fact and biblical truth, that eventually globalism will take hold. It's inevitable, okay? But it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. It doesn't have to happen today. I think we have enough strong Americans, enough people that are strong in their history, strong in their foundation of a God-founded country. I believe we have enough of those to stay afloat for a while. Even if this is our last free election, I think we can still stay afloat for a while. The president is not the hope for the nation. Jesus Christ is. Okay, and it's time for Christians. If you're a Christian and you're listening, it's time to do something about it. Okay, get out there and get involved in any capacity that you can. If you're older, donate to organizations that you know are going to fight communism in America and Marxism in America and fight this totally liberal educational system that we have. We need education reform, 100%. It needs to be absent of communist propaganda and indoctrination, as I spoke about in the podcast earlier. So, but we're going to talk about labor here. Why the left hates labor. Okay, why the left hates labor. So, this is interesting. Okay, so why does the left hate labor? I'll put it to you this way. Okay, because work makes you independent. Okay, work makes you independent. It makes you somebody who, when you go out there and you work and you start to feel like, I earned this, I own this. I mean, this is something that I went and worked hard for. Okay, you then begin to develop a sense of ownership and pride in the things that you do. Okay, this is dangerous to a communist society and to a communist left. Okay, this is dangerous to the Democrat Party. This is dangerous to them because, see, their whole party is built upon the backs of welfare recipients. Okay, and I'm not talking about people who are injured and they're receiving that, because it's what they need in order to get by and to survive and to provide for their family, and they can't work. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about leeches on society. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And they're working the system to get what they want. And so the left loves those kind of people because those people are hooked to them. And I don't want to get ahead of myself there. They're hooked, okay? It's just like a drug. They get a little bit of free money, and then it's addictive. They got to do everything they can to maintain that way of living and get more and more and more, okay? But work makes you independent. It really does, okay? God created man to work. Okay, in Genesis chapter number 2, it talks about that. It talks about how when the Lord God placed them in the Garden of Eden there, or eastward in the Garden of Eden, and he put them there to dress it and to keep it. What does that mean? It means he put them there to work. His very first job, the first thing that God did for man was gave him the ability and the responsibility to work. It is our job to work and to work hard. Okay, it produces a lot of health benefits that I talked about earlier, okay, in the podcast. And if you say, well, I didn't see the podcast, well, go listen to it, okay? But what we talked about, those health benefits, but it improves your mood, it improves your mind, it improves your body, it improves everything about your life. Working hard, it improves your sleep. Working hard is excellent, and it's the way God designed us to live, okay? By working hard, and it'll make you more enjoyable to be around because you won't be so stressed over things you can't control because you're doing something about something that you can control. You're working hard, okay? That's good, especially for men. That's really good. So we were designed to work by God, okay? God never stops working, and man was designed to work. We work for 6 days, we rest, we pick a day, and we rest on that day, whatever day it is, and that's good. It's recouping for your body, okay? That's excellent stuff. That's the way God designed it. So, work is designed by God, it's ordained by God, it's given to man to do, to mankind to do, and work will make you an independent person. And this is a dangerous thing to the left because you see the left hates work because they want people to be lazy because people who are lazy are usually stupid people. You say, well, that's not very nice. I'm not trying to be nice. I'm trying to just give you the facts, okay? Lazy people are usually stupid people. Not to say that they don't have the ability to be smart or not to say that they're not clever. I'm saying that lazy people are usually stupid people because if you're too lazy to work, you're too lazy to learn. So where I'm going with that is that if you're too lazy to work, then you're too lazy to learn, which means you're not worried about learning all the strings attached to that money that you're receiving from the government. You're not worried about where that lifestyle is leading you because you don't want to learn about it because you're comfortable. You're happy with that way of living. You're comfortable with that way of living. You're excited about that way of living. You can't wait for the next check to come in, and so that you don't have to work. And it begins to become something that is almost an addiction. An addiction. Okay, lazy people are usually stupid people. If you're too lazy to work, you're too lazy to learn. You know why these rioters are out there protesting? No, they're not protesting. Well, I say rioters protesting. Anyway. But you know why those rioters are out there rioting? They're burning down buildings and burning down all that? Because they're stupid. And some of them are supposedly fighting for a cause, BLM and all that. That's a Marxist communist group. Go to their website, and we'll do that on this program too at some point here. But we'll go to that. We'll go to their website and we'll read it for ourselves. What they have to say about themselves. They're all about destroying the nuclear home, especially in black families. They're all about bringing communism and Marxism into America and fundamentally changing the freedom that is in this country. Why would you want any part of that? But see, they don't know any of that because they don't care. They're too stupid. All they see is free, 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 free. Let me go rob, loot, steal, kill, destroy. I'll get out of jail for free. Somebody will bail me out. There's programs to bail me out. George Soros will bail me out. Black Lives Matter will bail me out. I'll just go over there and I'll just blow up everything. And I'll steal what I want, take what I want, and it's reparations for me. That's stupidity, folks. That is the utmost form of stupidity. So lazy people are usually stupid people, but lazy people can be easily manipulated. Another reason those rioters are out there is because they have been manipulated through falsehood, and it didn't take a whole lot. It took one person, one news anchor, one news outlet jumping to a conclusion, and now there's burning. Now the streets are burning in all these cities and states and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's because they're stupid. They're lazy, okay? And they're also easily manipulated. The left will use lazy people as pawns in a chess game. They really will. And they'll move those pawns whithersoever they will to accomplish the goal that they want. And see, the thing about pawns in a chess game is that pawns are expendable. You have pawns to lose pawns. So you sacrifice your pawns in order to get your big players to the king and to take down the leader or the ruler on the other side of the board. And that's exactly what these people are. They're manipulated pawns in a scheme, okay? Don't be that. Don't be trapped into this way of thinking that, hey, if the money's there, I'm just going to take it. Why? You want to be a part of the problem? I don't want to be a part of the problem, okay? Lazy people are you, and listen, you'll fall into. I'm telling you, it is money, the love of money, not money, but the love of money is the root of all evil. Why? Because once you start developing a taste for it and a love for it and a passion for it, you'll do anything you can to get it, which is why they're promoting all this stuff anyway. Why the left is pushing all this garbage and all this propaganda anyway. It's all about power. What kind of power? Monetary power, money power. Keep you in charge and keep you over people, okay? They don't want to lose their wealth, and they'll kill, steal, and destroy in order to get it, okay? So lazy people are stupid people usually because they're too stupid to learn anything about what they're doing. Lazy people can be easily manipulated and used, and lazy people are leeches, okay? They're just constantly leeching. The book of Proverbs said that the horse leech has two daughters crying, give, more, give me more, give me more, give me more. They're never satisfied. Those leeches are never satisfied. Once you have allowed yourself to be tricked into this way of thinking, you will then become a leech on society to where you cannot live without that government aid. And this is exactly what the left wants. They want people to be dependent upon them. If people are undereducated, meaning they're not educated at all, they're indoctrinated to believe a stupid idea. And then, so they don't actually have a real education, which means they're not thinking for themselves. They've been successfully brainwashed and indoctrinated. And then you raise them up on a steady diet of welfare their entire life to where they feel like, well, the government's always provided for me. I mean, the governments are really my parents. I mean, they provide, the government gave me this. The government, that's where that brainwashing technique that Obama used, well, you didn't build that. The government built that. You didn't build that. Those jobs, they're not coming back. You didn't build them. Nope, they're not coming back. He pushed that whole idea. It was propaganda, brainwashing technique to make you think that, you know what, man, maybe I really didn't do this all. Maybe the government really is God. God didn't give you what you have. The government did. God's not to thank for any of your abilities. The government is. And that's where our education system has gone and is going continually, okay? And so they want you to become a leech. They want people to become leeches on society that cannot live without their assistance, because then they are dependents. So that's what laziness leads you to a form of dependency. Hard work leads you to independence. You don't have to have them. They represent us. I don't like what you're doing. I'll impeach your tail. You know why? Because you work for me, Mr. Governor. You work for me, Mr. Senator and Congressman. You work for me, Mr. President, or, Mr. or Mrs. and all these different things, Everybody get upset because I only say Mr. or man, okay? But, they work for us. We're independent. Independence equals freedom. The Declaration of what? Oh, independence. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Declaration of Independence. Okay, so that's where that leads to. Laziness will lead you to a form of dependence. Dependence, okay? So what does the left ultimately want to produce? I'll tell you what they want to produce. They want to produce a people with no drive. Lazy people have no drive. They reach a point where eventually you see everything falling apart, and it's kind of like when you let yourself go physically. And we've all done it in one way, shape, form, or fashion, some worse than others. But, and you know what I'm saying. We've all experienced it. But you kind of let yourself go a little bit. And you say, well, what's the point? It's just one more quart of ice cream, okay? We all do that. I've been guilty of that plenty of times, okay? Why? It just produces, you just get to a point where you don't have any drive to fix it, okay? So that's what they want. They don't want you to have drive. They want no independence, no self-worth. This is a big thing. Hard work produces self-worth. A people that does not respect themselves and they have no self-worth, you're no longer, anyway, not to get ahead of myself, but you're not a citizen anymore, okay? You have no self-worth. That's not a good thing, okay? That's not a good thing. Hard work produces self-worth because you earned that. You work for that. You achieve that, okay? You achieve that. So, and also no personal property. No personal property. They don't want you to feel like you own anything, okay? The government owns it all. Everything you have is a result of the government. They want reality escapers via video games, drugs, addictions of any kind. They want you to just escape reality. Social media, many times, people just trying to escape into a world that pretending they're someone that they're not, okay? All these games and different things. I see kids raised up on these games. They're just raised up on them, and it's sad because they have no idea who they are. They only know what their profile is, or they only know what their RPG person is. They only know what their role in some fantasy universe is. They don't actually know who they are. You don't think that's a design? Parents, if I could encourage you anything, make your children get outside and work. Okay? Work at having fun. I'm not saying you got to work them like, to the bone, like in the fields or something. I'm saying get them out there and use their energy to do something productive. Okay? They'll be happier kids and more fulfilled, and you'll be a happier parent in turn, because you'll start seeing that they'll talk to you more, you'll have better conversations, they'll use their imagination more, and they'll start to develop a sense of who they are. Okay? No self-worth, no personal problem, no, the reality escapers. I mean, these things, these hooked on pills, drugs, addictions, with no courage to fight back. No courage to fight back. See, ultimately, they want to produce a society that is so dependent and so lackadaisical and so brainwashed into thinking that this is the way it's always been and the way it always should be, that they don't want anybody to fight back. Okay? They will do everything they can. They're doing it on social media. They're doing it on the news. They're doing it. Man, it is mind-boggling. These governors are doing it to churches and to other political speakers and things like that in their state. And they're doing these things. They're doing these things, and they're shutting people up. They're silencing them. They're censoring them. They're pulling them off of every outlet that they have to communicate with people. Okay? If this show ever reaches a certain point and gets, fairly big, I mean, it's possible that could happen even to us, okay? Why? Because they don't want voices speaking out and fighting back against the state. They don't want that. They want you to just sit down, shut up, and agree to what's going on, okay? And if you don't, we're going to silence you. See, they use fear and intimidation and all these things to suppress good men and women from doing what is right. We looked at that yesterday. All it takes for evil to prevail or to succeed in this nation is for good men to do nothing. Enough good men to do nothing. Good men and good women who have voices to be able to speak out and to be able to do something and to be able to get out there and put feet to action and to their words. And they can do that, but they're being silenced. Why? Because they don't want anybody to fight back. But that's why it is important that we don't give up at the first sign of them fighting back against us. We just have to fight back with twice as much. Harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. We can never give up. Winston Churchill said, never give up. Never give in. Never, 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 never. And things both great and small, and he goes on and he just says, never give up. There's never a good reason to give up. Keep fighting. It was an attitude like that, why even Great Britain exists today, why England exists today, why Europe is not under Nazi control right there, is because of that kind of attitude. Be that kind of attitude, be that kind of person, fight back, okay? If you get to the point where you have no drive, no independence, no self-worth, no personal property, you're constantly escaping reality, not focused on what's really going on, hooked on pills and drugs and all these things, and you have no courage to fight back, you're no longer a citizen. These are not citizens. These are slaves. Slaves. And it's so interesting how the party who claims that they're so anti-slavery is always working their system to produce more slaves. Well, would you look at that? Isn't that interesting? This party that claims they're such against slavery is always producing more slaves each and every day. Don't be a slave to this liberal society. Don't be a slave to some politician somewhere. Be a free thinker. Be a real person. Be an American. Be involved. Know what's going on and make a difference in your community. Do something about it. Okay? Speaking of doing something about it, what can you do about it? What can you do about this thing of laziness in America? You ready? Work, work, work. That's what you can do, is work, work, work. In your education, work in your education, man. Never stop learning, okay? That's one of the whole purposes of this show. Got it right here, okay? Solutions, information, education, and real free thinking. That's the whole purpose of this show right there. So work, work, work in your education. The more facts you put before you, the more irrefutable the evidence, the more that you can make proper decisions, and you can work, work, work to teach others and to help others. Work in your education of yourself and work in the education of others. Try to constantly educate others. Try to constantly reach out and make a difference to others. This world needs that, okay? We need that. You need that. Your country needs that. Educate yourself and others. Not only that, but work, work, work in your personal life, okay? Work in your own personal life. Just be a hard worker. Yes, the health benefits are there. It'll make you a good, strong individual, but it'll help you build good character, and it'll help you remain, or to keep having good character, where you won't become one of these lazy, manipulated, stupid leeches on society. But also work in your relationships. Husbands, work harder than ever at this point in time in history. Work hard. It's so important that you work harder than ever to have a good, solid relationship with your wife. Wives, it's such a great opportunity now more than ever to work on what's really important, and that is your relationships and that is your relationship with your children and with your husband. Your husband first, your children second, okay? And to work on that. If you're a single parent, work on that relationship with your children. Make sure it's as strong as it can be. Don't be a smother or a hovering father. But love them, love them, love them. Show them that you care. Work hard and provide for them. But take every opportunity to spend a moment with them and make a memory with them. Okay, work hard in those relationships. If the home breaks down in our country, everything else fails. You know what? There's many things. Actually, there's nothing you can take to heaven with you. You understand that? Nothing you can take to heaven with you. The only thing you can take with you is your relationships. Who are you taking with you? Who did you tell about Christ? Who did you educate? Who did you preach and teach to? Who did you make a difference in their life? Who? Others, dear Lord, others, let this my motto be. Okay, that was a poem. There, others, dear Lord, others, let this my motto be. Make your life about others. Work, work, work in your relationships, and work in your political life. Work in your political life, okay? And so, like I say, what can you do about it? You can do those things, but you need to work in your political life. If there's a candidate you believe in, first of all, you need to do research to make sure that they're the real deal, and then you need to work hard to promote them, to get them into the place where you want them. The world will only know about them as much as you tell, okay? You got to show your support. You got to get out there, and you got to work hard. Don't be a sideline soldier. Get in the fight each and every day in all these areas, in your education, your personal life, your relationships, and your political life. Get out there and get involved. Work, work, work. And if you're a member of a church out there, work, work, work in that ministry. Others, dear Lord, others, let this my motto be. Make every day count in those ministries. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. And you want to talk about work, and you want to talk about not being a sideline soldier there. You know what? Don't be a sideline soldier. If you're watching this video and you enjoyed it and you liked what you saw and you liked what you heard, hey, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I cannot emphasize that enough. I'm kind of learning about that. Share this video with others, okay? Like it, comment on it. Yes, watch it, of course, but man, subscribe to it. You want to keep up to date on what's going on, and as the videos start coming out, hey, there's a little notification thing. You can hit that if you're interested in that. There, you want to keep up with our latest content. Please do that. I'm really excited about what the future holds. I hope that was helpful to you, and I look forward to the next time that we get to meet together and we get to talk. Thursday, there'll be another podcast, and there'll be another thought of the day, another short video there, and I'm also working on some educational videos as well, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And we'll talk about more incredible things here on the Worldview, and hopefully that was a help. It was a help to me. God worked on my heart. Hopefully it'll work on yours. Thank you for today, for being a part of the Worldview. I will see you next time.